And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say they just don't beat Jaron Ennis. In fact, that style is absolutely tailor-made for Boots.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top pound for pound right now?
Not yet. I don't think so. Not right now. I just, like you said, we have so many people right now, and
well, because Vergil loves fighting tough guys. He doesn't run from anybody. He doesn't shy away from the tough matches. So,
and my dad's like, "Hey, they're probably gonna announce it like within the next few days." I'm like, "Oh fuck, where?" And then it didn't happen.
It's the fight every boxing fan wants to see. Jaron, Boots Ennis, and Vergil Ortiz Jr. are two undefeated stars, and a clash between them could determine who truly rules the 154-pound division.
You can try and downplay it, but I don't give a fuck. Jaron Boots Ennis is the best fighter in boxing today. I keep saying about Vergil, I respect those guys. I love Robert Garcia. The same thing will happen to Vergil Ortiz. It might take a few rounds longer, but he will absolutely slice him up.
So why hasn't this fight happened? Both sides continue blaming each other, with each claiming the other is avoiding the matchup. As more details emerge, the story has become even more complicated.
Who's your dream fight? Who do you see yourself having a mega fight with in your career that's gonna, transcend you to the next level?
Any of the champions, Vergil Ortiz, it's a super fight. Any of the champions at 154, I'm here to make my mark, and it's starting this Saturday. For me, my legacy is to be, collect them belts, be multiple weight division champion, undisputed at 54 if possible, and keep doing it at each and every weight class, 154, 60, and maybe 68. That's my goal, and to fight these top guys. And, it's going to happen. One by one, we're going to bring them.
Oscar de la Hoya reignited the debate before Vergil Ortiz's fight with Erickson Lubin. Speaking at the final press conference, he sent a direct message to Boots Ennis and his team, saying they would be ringside to witness Ortiz's performance.
If you go back to, if you rewind a bit, you remember when Boots Ennis fought and Eddie was like, let's fight Vergil now. And they were on TV, on camera saying this and that. And then right after they were off camera, it's like nothing happened. We were calling out Boots Ennis and they didn't want to do it. They wanted a tune-up fight, this and that. I understand all that. As a fighter, yes, you want tune-up fights, but come on, how many tune-up fights do you need?
De La Hoya claimed that once Boots' team saw Vergil fight in person, they would back away from making the matchup, showing complete confidence in his fighter.
Vergil Ortiz is ready at 154, and I'm glad, like I said, Boots Ennis is coming down to watch his fight. I'm actually really glad he is. But then again, I am afraid that Boots Ennis is going to see Vergil, and he's going to tell Eddie, I don't want Vergil next. Let me have another tune-up fight.
Oscar also revealed that the fight was reportedly close to being finalized before negotiations stalled. According to him, Boots' team suddenly wanted a tune-up fight instead, delaying one of boxing's biggest potential matchups.
Look, first, the fight was going to get made. Then Boots needed a tune-up fight and another tune-up fight, I believe. Vergil's always been ready. He's always been there waiting for whoever. That's who Vergil is. No, he doesn't shy away from any challenge. And the fact that they're going to come down to see Vergil Ortiz, it tells you everything. He's a superstar. Everybody wants to watch him. Even Eddie Hearn from the UK wants to fly down, and Boots Ennis from Philadelphia wants to see it front row in person and be in awe.
That claim clashes with what Boots' father and trainer, Boots Ennis, said back in 2024. Boots insisted an offer had been sent to Ortiz's team and that it was turned down, leaving fans with two completely different versions of the story.
Just to make it clear on Vergil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar de la Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters, and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. Part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November, and we haven't heard anything back.
At the time, many believed Vergil Ortiz was the one avoiding the fight, but the narrative would soon begin to change.
On Wednesday, Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the Boots fight made. I said, well, we're in. I don't, you know, so I take their word for it, and I truly believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make great fights. But that fight is done on our side, on all the terms that we agreed with Golden Boy. That fight for me, although it doesn't carry an official world championship, which is what we want at 54, is one of the best fights in boxing.
Boots Ennis later explained that Golden Boy contacted him after the Lubin fight was announced and said they wanted to make the Boots matchup next. He responded that his team was fully on board, calling it one of the biggest fights in boxing, even without a world title on the line.
But genuinely, you do feel he's a very skilled fighter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe top 15 for sure.
Right.
Maybe not top 10.
That's what I
say
said.
that.
Yeah.
So let's get into that then. How true is that there was a real offer made to Boots,
Yeah.
and he turned it down? And could you talk about like what was offered to him?
When I went to Riyadh the first time in November, and I met up with Turkey, I went to his his compound, his farm or whatever it was, and they said that more than likely I was going to fight Boots soon. I was like, oh shit, okay, we're finally doing this. You know, Oscar was there and everyone was there, and I was just like, okay, cool.
At 154, obviously.
Yeah, because I can't move down.
Golden Boy quickly pushed back. Oscar De La Hoya responded on social media, saying fans would soon find out who really didn't want the fight.
So when Turkey and those guys said that you were going to fight Boots, was there a number thrown out?
There was no number. There was no number at all. The only thing that I knew was that, okay, this is a real possibility now. Like, Then I think the next week, I was at home and my dad's like, hey, they're probably gonna announce it. And like, within the next few days, I'm like, oh fuck, we're fighting. All right, so I'm like getting mentally prepared and all this shit. And then it didn't happen. That's when I got word that he turned it down. But no, I'm not gonna say he turned it down. That's just what I heard, you know, because I don't like being on the other end.
Vergil Ortiz then addressed the situation himself, saying he had never personally turned down the fight. His comments only added more confusion, leaving fans wondering whose version of events was true.
As far as the negotiation, I'm not a manager, right? So I don't take part of any of that. All I know is that we can start from the beginning. 147, you know, we're both upcoming prospects or whatever. Fight doesn't happen. I always felt like it was gonna happen at 154 anyways. All right, I move up to 154, past rhabdomyolysis. I had to get in a couple of tune-up fights because I just came back from a life-threatening illness. And we really wanted to make sure that I was even still okay to fight because that's how bad it was. So I got those fights out of the way. Then we fight Bohachuk, then we fight Majimov. Jaron Ennis got a world title at 147 or a couple of them, I think. Good for him. He has a lot of momentum going his way. You know, if I had that much momentum, I would have went straight to the big fight at 154, if I'm being honest. I'm just that kind of guy, I guess. But when it was time to say yes to fight, I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying ducking, when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But they want to align it with me, then they can't say that because I said yes.
Ortiz later revealed that no official financial offer was ever presented to him. He said he believed the fight was close to being announced and even began preparing mentally before everything unexpectedly fell apart.
Vergil, we know that Eddie Hearn and Jaron Boots Ennis are going to be ringside at your fight on Saturday. And as you know, you've been in talks with these guys for a while now, pretty much all this year, some of last year, and the fight still hasn't been made. Do you think it's finally going to happen next? And what are you going to show them at ringside?
We'll see. You know, I've already said yes. I mean, that's all I can do, right? So we'll see. We'll see. It's really not up to me, I guess.
And from your standpoint, then, what is the biggest barrier to this fight happening? Why hasn't it happened yet? Because, like you said, you've said yes. So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't. There's really nothing else that I can do at this point, right? So, the barrier, it's somewhere on their side. So it's whether it's someone, something, or some amount of money. I don't know. That's completely on them.
Vergil also explained that his long absence wasn't about avoiding tough opponents. He was recovering from rhabdomyolysis, a serious medical condition that threatened both his career and his health. According to Ortiz, getting healthy was always his top priority.
There's no one in the 154-pound division is going to touch it. If you look at the finish and the combinations, the hand speed's blistering, the power is frightening. Lima was like, and it was just, I just wanted a statement. And that was a statement of all statements. But we got to prove it with the resume. He's 28 years old. He's 10 years younger than Terence Crawford. We haven't even touched the surface yet. This is the most special fighter I've ever worked with by a mile. And we are just getting started. And I can't wait for him to be in these fights. I can't wait to duke it out with Oscar and Vergil Ortiz. Oscar tweeted and said, there's only one fighter, Vergil Ortiz, in 154. Then make the fight. If you truly believe you can beat Jaron Ennis, make the fight. You talk about Tom and Jerry, talk about all this kind of stuff. He's a defensive genius, but he'll also come in and take you to pieces and knock you sparking.
Once fully recovered, Ortiz said he immediately agreed to the fight. He insisted he was ready to sign the contract, claiming he never backed away once his health allowed him to compete again.
I think that when you look at U.S. fights, Vergil against Boots is in the top 3. 2 in their prime American fighters, black fighter versus a Mexican fighter, Northeast fighter versus a Texas-based fighter. You got all the elements for a great super fight. It was disappointing that we didn't get it at 147. I think if Vergil beats Lubin and looks impressive, it's going to be even bigger at 154. I think that's a Vegas fight. It's a pay-per-view fight. I think that's one of the marquee fights of 2026 if Vergil can.
Ortiz remains convinced he was prepared when the opportunity finally arrived, leaving many fans wondering whether the delay came from the other side of the negotiations.
How far can Boots go? Can he be pound for pound one of the top fighters in the world, 1, 2, or 3 at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's already around there. He's looking to crack that top 10.
Right.
With the right win, I think he'll get in there.
Right. How do you feel about him going up to 154 and maybe people want to see him and Vergil Ortiz?
I think that's the fight. I mean, you win that fight, you definitely in the top 10 to me.
Right. For sure.
That's a young champion, a young killer just like you. That's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
Right.
That's when there's going to be a fight.
Boots Ennis and Eddie Hearn attending Vergil Ortiz's fight also sent a strong message. Their presence suggested they were interested in making the fight and had no intention of avoiding the challenge.
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year type fight.
Who wins?
I think Boots beats him just because Vergil he can fight, but I think he's going to be in front of him. He's going to be in front of Boots, and that's his style. Right. His tailor-made style.
The taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favorite?
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov. Very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then he is at least what we think.
In the end, 2 undefeated stars remain on a collision course, while 2 completely different stories continue to divide the boxing world.
Boots doesn't want to fight Vergil. Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. Whatever they say, oh, there's a signed contract already. That's all. There's Boots is not going to fight. Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. He's going to show up. Why didn't they call us up and invite us to his fight 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever he just fought recently? You come to ours, we go to yours, we promote the fight. That would have been the perfect idea to do. But they want to show up, and they are going to show up. That doesn't make a difference. Vergil's going to do his job. But, that's just kind of like trying to get the media, the press to believe that they're ready for the fight. I know they're not. I know they already have a date where they already have, a possible opponent already. So it's all part of the show, part of
part of promoting the event, part of promoting his fighter, and Eddie's doing a great job doing it.
Are Oscar De La Hoya's comments simply part of the promotional game, or is Vergil Ortiz's version of events the real story? Fans continue to debate who truly wants this fight more.